Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. Last time, we started gearing up for a whole fucking manhunt for old Stella. And astonishingly, she was not, in fact, in the very first place we looked. I know. No one's more surprised than me. Anyway, let's go to the cops. Are you sure? Nothing against the officers of Scarlet Hollow, but you've met them, right? I don't believe I have, actually. Not as such. Do you think it's worth the trouble? As unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all our bases. Guess so. Yo, yeah, I've definitely not met these people. I mean, maybe that guy in the back. Was he the guy that was... I mean, I've met those two, obviously, but I don't think they're police officers. Even if his clothes are fairly similar. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find Beau and Duke standing between you and the officers behind the desk. More or less. Now listen here, Hugby. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon, so don't you go telling me she was just a pumpkin. We worked real hard to get her that big. Raised her up from a seed. It's just not fair, officer, sir. I understand that and all, but I just don't see what y'all want us to do about it. I know you cared a lot about this pumpkin. I know y'all cared a lot about this pumpkin, but as it stands, this simply isn't a job the police can help you with. Now, if you were able to find some kind of evidence that Julius or somebody else stole this Big Betty of yours, then you could get a lawyer involved and take it to small claims court. Isn't finding evidence supposed to be the police's job? Dang it, deputy! Ain't finding evidence what y'all are supposed to be good for? Yeah, exactly. That Julius has been stealing what rightfully belongs to the Callaways for all his life, and you folks ain't done a lick of policing to put an end to it. I told you we was better off handling this ourselves, Daddy. Weird question, but are you folks part of a cult, and is that why you aren't doing your jobs? That's it's worth an ask. The police officers stare at you, perplexed. A cult? I don't think we have that sort of thing up here. We are doing our jobs. Just look at Franklin back there. He's finding all kinds of paperwork pertaining to what happened up at the mines. Oh yeah, that's real fucking helpful, playing catch up with a natural disaster. Or indeed, supernatural disaster, but same thing. You know, I can't say I appreciate your tone. Sounds like you're accusing us of some kind of indecency. Well, at least you're capable of finding evidence to the completely obvious, if nothing else. What, do you think we go up into the hills and do seances and rituals and all that sort of thing? Get your head out of the clouds. Alright then, if you're so dedicated to your jobs. Listen up, boys. We've got a missing person on our hands. Stella hasn't been seen since yesterday, and last anyone saw, she was in a state of distress. Oh, so you think you're leading an investigation, do you? Coming in here like you have some kind of authority. Yes, actually. Got a problem with it? Well then, why don't you march on out and dig up some clues if you think you're such a big shot. Oh, I'm going to do just that, don't you worry. I just thought I'd give you a chance to do your fucking job, while I do mine. Just a courtesy. I didn't expect you to actually be of any help whatsoever. Cross your arms authoritatively. You cross your arms. your muscles bulging imposingly. You stare Officer Derrickson directly in the eye, unblinking and serious. Of course, it's nice to see a citizen such as yourself taking initiative on a possible investigation. Yeah, I knew he'd blink first. Help from citizens such as yourself is never frowned upon, and we'll be sure to make note of her being gone. She'll turn up. That girl disappeared for a day or two ain't nothing out of the ordinary. You're not helping, Duke. Best to leave the officers to handle real crimes. Oh yes. Like a disappearing pumpkin. Of course. Duke's right. She'll turn up. She always does. Well, yes, but that's just due to anthropic principle. What the heck is that? Is that a cat? What the heck is that supposed to be? Never mind. Anyway, what's all this about a pumpkin? Seems the Callaways here have lost a considerably large pumpkin. We ain't lost crud, Earl. Well, you lost it either way. It's just a matter of why. You can't lose what's been stolen. On the contrary, you always lose what's been stolen. And we already know who did it. We saw Julius eyeing her yesterday. Look, Bo, I feel you. I really do. That's circumstantial at best. And even if it wasn't, you know yourself that there isn't a clear property line. I'm sorry, did you just say crud? Dang straight I did. I ain't about to cuss in front of the boy. Cussing in public ain't polite. Okay then. You got a problem with that? Nah. I don't fucking care. Do what you will. What makes you think Julius stole it? I can kind of guess, but I might as well ask. You're poking a wasp's nest, Joe Bob. There's 100 years of history here. He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. He's got himself confused about where the property line is, as always. The Callaways and Tremaines have been at this a long time. They can never agree whose land is whose. This ain't the first time we've heard something like this. We get our fair share of calls from Julius, too. You know, Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never pegged him as a thief. Have you ever pegged him at all? Friend? A snake like him has friends? Yeah, snakes are snakes are relatively solitary creatures, but that doesn't mean they don't have friends. Friend is a strong word, but I like to think we have some kind of understanding. Why is this pumpkin so valuable? Because it's fucking massive, that's why, I assume. She was darn near 2,000 pounds. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's already told me about this. Whatever. She was gonna get us a blue ribbon. Now we've already missed our chance. The judging was supposed to start today, and here we are, still stuck in the holler and short our prize winner, with Julius Tremaine to blame. Didn't you say you already weren't gonna be able to go there? Well, being stuck in the holler isn't his fault, but sure. He practically spits the name, and then he literally spits on the floor. He ain't even coming to his door to answer for what he done. Just hold up like the coward he is. At the very least, he could give us seeds from what's left of her so we can try again next year. Hold up like the coward he is. There's probably something to that. She was good stock, our Betty. That's interesting, because I haven't seen Julius since Tuesday. He's usually in the diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning Joe. Indeed. So maybe he isn't a thief. Could be something happened to him. Mayhap. Mark my words, the man's a thief. You got any other ideas about who would have stolen our prize pumpkin? I don't know, ditchlings? Beats me. I just don't think folks should be so quick to jump to conclusions. 2,000 pounds. This Julius guy's gotta be huge. I can't wait to meet him. Nah, he's a wiry fellow. You've probably seen him hanging around in the back of the diner. Usually comes in once a day to read his newspaper. Haven't seen him in a bit, though. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Why, you think he had help or something? That man's always had gumption. Ain't nothing in the world that can stop him if it means ruining my day. I guess maybe he could have rolled it. You, sure it wasn't a bear? That's plausible. You think a bear would just roll a 2,000-pound pumpkin off without a lick of evidence? Fair enough. That's right, sir. We're no bear. We're hunting folk. We know the signs. This was a man's work. And that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family. You want me to go over there and kick his ass for you? I should probably investigate over there at some point anyway. This isn't as good an excuse as any. Watch it, Joe Bob. If Julius Tremaine shows up tomorrow with a busted nose, we'll know it was you. Don't worry, I'll take a page out of your book and make sure to leave no bruises. I'm sure Joe Bob just meant that metaphorically, Dennis. Ha! I like your gumption. But I don't want anyone to dirty themselves picking fights on my behalf. I just want my damn pumpkin back. Well, I guess except the police, I suppose, but then again, that's their job. Daddy always said folks like us shouldn't use our strength to hurt other people. Just because we're bigger and stronger don't mean we can use it to boss anybody around, even if they deserve it. Fair enough? That's right, Bo. Which is why we're going through the proper channels. Or trying to, at least. Look, it's good that you came by to let us know of the possible theft. But I'm telling you, there's not much to be done. And I say that's horse crud. You know, even if Julius didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check. Mayhap. Alright, let me speak in plainer terms. Everyone knows that Julius Tremaine's land is booby-trapped to hell. It's not worth it. Oh, so you're letting him get away with everything because you're afraid of him then. And therefore he's beyond the law. Okay, good to know. And here I thought this place had police instead of professional useless people. Thanks, that's very helpful. Is that so? So you've just been giving me and my boy the runaround all morning? I don't have to answer that question. I think you just did, actually. Helpful. So he's got some traps on his property. It's never stopped me from visiting. Yeah? Do you have kids, Avery? Because I've got 2 teenage girls at home. Hugby's got grandkids. Franklin's got the mayor, I guess. I'm not about to risk getting my head blown off over a pumpkin. Okay, so you've got children, and that means that you're not willing to risk your life to enforce law and order. Cool. Then why the fuck are you a policeman? Why the fuck are you in this career in the first place? That's right. There's some sleeping dogs you learn to just let lie. I've been Scarlet Hollow's sheriff for over 20 years now. You don't hold a position like that for so long without learning a few lessons on temperance and moderation, otherwise known as cowardice and laziness. Good to know. What's good to sheriff who won't do his job? This is lawlessness! If I may, sirs, ain't that a mite bit cowardly of you? I thought police officers were supposed to be brave. You thought wrong, I guess. Not the ones that live very long, son. Fucking hell. Look, I've been to Julius's 100 times. I can tag along and make sure nobody gets hurt. That's a mighty kind offer. Let's give it another day. There's no need to escalate things when they might just resolve themselves. Tomorrow, Earl, or I'm running against you next election. Well, good luck with that, Duke. If it does come to that. It's just a question of whether people prefer law and order, or whether people are comfortable with a police force that don't do shit. Well, I guess we should get going. Come on. Why won't they just do their jobs? The achievement I just got for visiting the police. Do you really think Hugby and Derrickson could be part of some cult that secretly runs Scarlet Hollow? That'd be wild. I'd never suspect them of that sort of thing. Seems like it'd be too much work. Well, maybe they're lazy bastards because it's so much work. You know? Or maybe their laziness is a smokescreen for... well, as someone who's lived in this town my entire life, there's no way. For one thing, cult activity like what you're describing just doesn't happen. I've done my fair share of reading on satanic panics and so-called occult groups, and it's almost always totally made up. People constantly freak out about Satanists without realizing they're just a bunch of debate club nerds who listen to heavy metal. Sure. Almost always totally made up, because yes, there's a lot of false positives out there. Sure. But that doesn't mean that cults don't fucking exist, Kanika. This is exactly the kind of fucking bullshit that people talk about, you know, oh, conspiracy theories, as if it's some sort of argument against what you're saying, even though there's loads of conspiracies constantly happening. It's just that most of them are too subtle for people to actually discover them. And so most conspiracy theories are made up. Or indeed, psyops. In fact, the term conspiracy theory is a psyop. But anyway. So, instead of not being able to rely on the cops because they're part of the cult that secretly runs the town... Also, when did I say that they secretly run the town? All I said was that there was a cult. We can't rely on them because they're just not that good at what they do? That's so much less exciting. But either way, I guess it's up to us to solve the mysteries of Scarlet Hollow. It was ever thus. We'll do a much better job anyway. Naturally. You do have the protagonist on your side after all. Where to next? We should check in on Oscar. He's smart. Maybe he'll know what to do. Also, you know, we should check on him in general because he also went through some horrible shit. We should make sure he's okay. And his children. I hope nothing else happened after we all went home last night. One can only hope. They're so brave for sleeping in that house after everything we went through. Well, I mean, after everything we went through, theoretically, it might be the safest place in Scarlet Hollow right now. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than some place that was that haunted. I guess that just means they have a lot of confidence in my ghost-busting skills. So that's flattering. Your mom said it's safe, and I'm inclined to believe her. Why would she lie? Why indeed. But how would she know that? Good question, Kanika. How would she know that? Magic, probably. But there's only one way to find out. Let's go. Library card. More like library CAD. Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, it's once again a place of comfort. All menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. No ghost, thank God. I was not up for an encore. Yeah, it's gone. Just like your mom said it would be. We've only seen a very small fraction of the library. It theoretically could still be here somewhere, but sure. You can't help but overhear the murmurings of an intense conversation coming from the mayor's office. Or rather, the murmurings of an intense animal conversation. Uh-huh. Leave politics to the dogs. Ha! You start making your way upstairs towards the mayor's office. Hey, where are you going? A small gang of dogs holds court in the mayor's office. Most of the dogs quietly watch from the sidelines, but two of them, a sheepdog and a basset hound, are in heated conversation with Mayor Jimmy. Their tags read Scraps and Daisy. Terrible names. But most pet names are terrible. Pixel, like I said, sits on a shelf nearby, wearily keeping an ear to the conversation. It sounds like you've all sorted this out. I don't see what you need me to do about any of it. Sorted? Things ain't sorted until this town is safe. Now, we may have gotten the beginnings of a militia together, but there's plenty of pets out there who are still ill-informed about those things crawling out of the woods. You're the mayor. They'll listen to you. Just tell them to stay inside until it's handled. Listen, Scraps, buddy, I hear you, but the last thing we need right now is anarchy in the streets. Yeah, that's why they want them to stay inside. It's no use. I told you he'd be bullheaded. He's always bullheaded. Always the sore loser, aren't we, Daisy? Things are fine. Nobody has to worry about a thing. Alright. The mayor pulls himself away from the conversation to acknowledge you. Oh ho ho, I remember you. You're that out-of-towner from yesterday, the speaker. The other dogs murmur amongst themselves for a moment. Rhubarb, rhubarb, rhubarb. Then turn to face you. I'm sorry you had to see this little display. Politics can get so messy. Are y'all some kind of dog militia? Did I hear that right? Yes, I suppose you can say that. When the town's illustrious leader abandons his kind, it's up to us common folk to band together. Daisy, please. I'm not abandoning anybody, dog or otherwise. You're all blowing this invasion story completely out of proportion. Everything is going to turn out just fine. God, is there any authority figure in this whole town that's actually doing anything? Well, Tabitha, I suppose. So yeah, that's one. To be fair, she is pretty much the highest authority figure in this town, so it's something. If everything turns out just fine, it's because the rest of us protected those who needed protecting. So you're this Scraps I've heard so much about. And by so much, I mean a few sentences about. The one and only. This here is Daisy, and we got a few other concerned locals with us, as well. Just making sure the cats and dogs of the holler are well cared for, considering recent events. Noble. There are more of those things in the woods every day, popping out of the innocent bodies of what used to be dogs like us. They're exaggerating, of course. Well, I've heard reports of creatures coming out of the woods. It's nothing the humans of this town can't handle. Is it anything? It's not the humans we're worried about, is it? It's no secret that Daisy and Scraps are my competitors, and it's just like them to jump at the first sign of trouble as an opportunity to run me out of office. Nobody's trying to run you out of anything. We're just trying to keep the critters of the town safe. How very noble of you, but that's exactly the line you'd feed the voters if you were trying to get rid of me. Okay, first of all, they're not feeding the voters that line, they're feeding you that line and secondly, if they wanted to run you out of the office, the last thing they'd be doing would be trying to get you to get off your ass and do something. And thirdly, if you don't want them running you out of the office, do something! Gretchen really admires you, Scraps. She flatters me so. I'm nothing special. Just another dog. Don't be so modest, Scraps. You're the kind of dog other dogs listen to. It's a damn shame the humans are so charmed by that charlatan. I'm right here, Daisy. I'm well aware. You think you're so high and mighty, don't you? Just because you can sit and stay the best. As if obedience is the best quality in a leader. Speaking of Gretchen, have any of you seen or smelled her? She and Stella are missing. Is she missing? Oh dear. Scraps, you don't think... Stella would never let that happen to her. Wherever she is, I'm sure she's safe from those things. A dog like her doesn't get to be that age without a watchful human at her side. Even if she's safe, I don't like the sound of this. See, Jimmy? This is the cost of inaction. Gretchen is a pillar of our community, and she's missing. What will it take for you to finally open your eyes and do something? If you wait until you're the last dog left in Scarlet Hollow, it'll be far too late to save yourself. Yes, I get it. You're all very upset. But what do you expect me to do about it? Shut down the town? What about the economy? Do you even know what economy is, Jimmy? Or are you just throwing around fancy words you've heard the humans say? Of course I know what economy is. I know all about economyism. Oh good, because I've never understood a lick of it when humans talk about economy. I just figured it was just a made-up word they yell at each other when they want to stop talking. So please, enlighten us. I'm not going to debase myself by playing a game of trivia, not in front of the speaker. I thought so. To answer your question, we did catch a whiff right around here, and another near her house. Haven't picked up any of them around town since then. That was last... Those were both from last night, then. So that means she probably hasn't been around town, then. Not that surprises me. Still, though. Let's hope those creatures haven't already gotten to her. Can you help us find her? You've got better noses for this sort of thing. We'll do our best. We didn't intend to make any more trips out into the woods, but if it's for Gretchen, we'll take that risk. She's a well-liked dog in these parts. Been around longer than any of us. It'd be a blow to the community for her to fall victim to those monstrosities. Good man. Or dog, I suppose. Good doggies. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Yes, I am a rather good boy, aren't I? You call me good dog? Daisy good dog? Daisy's tail wags excitedly before she regains her composure. Ahem. Sorry. I just love to hear it. Now what? Mr. Mayor, you should listen to Daisy and Scraps on this one. There won't be anarchy in the streets to worry about if every animal in town is taken by ditchlings. Your opinion is noted, but I've been mayor for over 14 years. I know what I'm doing. That's 14 dog years, Jimmy. If you're not going to help, the least you can do is not sniff the speaker's ass. I suppose you were right, Daisy. This was just a waste of time. But I need to hear it with my own ears before I could really believe it. Not a complete waste of time. At least you got to meet me, eh? I'll save the I told you so for later. Let's go rally the others. This town won't save itself. Well, I don't know about that. You're part of the town. So in that sense, it would be saving itself. You and the dogs exit the mayor's office and close the door behind you. I assume I close the door behind me. They quickly turn a corner and vanish from your line of sight. You find Kanika and Avery waiting for you in the lobby. I took a peek in there. You just had a full-on conversation with those dogs. It is so weird when you do that. You think it's weird for you, it's even weirder for me. I actually have to hear what they have to say. Does this sort of thing happen a lot with Joe Bob? Oh yeah. Yeah, it, takes some getting used to. After last night, it'd take a whole lot more than Joe Bob having a conversation with a gang of dogs to faze me. I guess Oscar must be in the back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally managed to unhaunt my house. Don't worry, Avery. You will yet get far more than that. Anyway. I've always been surprised at how unsupervised this place is. Sometimes it feels like anyone could just walk in and do whatever they wanted. I guess they probably could. But then again, you'd be surprised what you can just walk in and start doing at any point in time, and no one would really be able to stop you. Think about that for a bit. It's more important than it sounds. Like what? Steal books? Or maybe burn the place down, who knows? I mean, they could, right? I'm not saying anyone would. I'm just saying that people in this town trust each other. A lot. It's nice. I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, as we saw. But sure. Let's go find Oscar. You make your way back towards the annex. It feels strange to be back here in the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. More accurately, it feels as if the events of the previous evening were mostly just a dream. That hideous stone carving is still buried in the basement, and though it's subtle and subdued, you can still feel the faintest hums reaching out from it. This hallway really takes me back. Feels like it was only yesterday that we were last here, blissfully unaware that our entire lives were about to change forever. It was only yesterday, Avery. Yeah, exactly, Kanika. I know. Shut up. Kanika knocks on the door. Oh, good morning. So good to see all of you. Please, come on in. You have no idea how good it felt to sleep in our own house last night. Though I suppose I didn't do too much sleeping. I mostly sat and stared at the hatch all night. Nothing happened, but the idea that something could happen was more than enough to keep me wide awake. So, what brings you here? Well, more worries to pile onto your head, that's what. Stella's been missing since last night, and we're trying to figure out if anyone's seen her. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? So, I'm guessing that's a no? You'd be right. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I should have done a better job warning her. Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were going to be able to stop her. There's no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. And we don't even know if her disappearance is even because of that. I don't even think she knew how she'd react. And besides, you didn't know how bad it was gonna get. You can't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes it's just not gonna be possible. You're only one guy. Quite so. Now I'm really starting to worry. It sounds like no one in town has seen her. That doesn't mean something bad happened. But it doesn't exactly sound like it's all sunshine and roses for her either. Sorry that I can't be more helpful, especially after everything y'all have done for us. I know time is of the essence right now, but while you're here, I want to let you know that I'm determined to do whatever I can to help investigate what's happening to our town. I was hoping we could compare notes. It might help me narrow down where I should start my research. As far as I'm aware, there was nothing paranormal in Scarlet Hollow before very recently. Now here we are, suddenly surrounded by weird little goblin creatures in the woods and plagued by angry ghosts. You think there was an inciting event, right? I mean, that did start happening shortly after the old woman's death, didn't it? Might be has something to do with that. I do. That's my thought too. It was never like this in the holler before. Something must have happened that kicked off all this magic stuff. Avery stares at you. Don't tell me. Yes, Avery, there is one other thing that happened. I mean, it's obvious, right? Things only started happening once Joe Bob got here. Maybe? But then again, considering the scale of what's been happening with the ditchlings, surely that must have started before I arrived. Again, I really think it's the death that kicked this all off. Or vice versa. Kanika shoots Avery a glare. No, we are not throwing Joe Bob under the bus. What? There's nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst. Sure. There's probably nothing wrong with someone being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with saying someone's a magical catalyst. If people get the wrong idea, we're only a couple of steps away from the whole town deciding to shaw him. Shaw. Or saw me, for that matter. Nobody's going to drag Joe Bob into a witch hunt on my watch. Or a watch hunt under your witch. I like to think we've outgrown the days of running people out of town on rails. You'd like to think so, and it probably won't turn out exactly that way, no. I'd rather play it safe. Don't worry, it's not like I'm gonna run around telling everyone that Joe Bob magicked a bunch of terrible disasters into existence. But if there's a catalyst for all this, why wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? Am I going to be able to get a word in edgewise any day now? If I may, Joe Bob getting into town isn't the only major event that's happened lately. Herland died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time he arrived. Yes, thank you, Oscar. I'd have said the same if I had a chance to say anything. Not to mention, I started seeing things in our house before Pearland passed. Oh, that's good to know. Maybe it is the vice versa thing that I mentioned. I think. I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. You didn't? That seems rather foolish of you. But oh well. If there's a root cause for all of this, hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. We'll fill you in on what little we know, so you at least have someplace to start. Well, it'll be good to have you, Oscar. The more the merrier. Okay, so, are we sure the ghost is really gone? I have every reason to believe so. There wasn't so much as a creaking door or mysterious draft all night. Thanks to you and Tabitha, I think we're in the clear. You're so brave for sleeping in here. I would have left and set the place on fire behind me if I were in your shoes, no matter if someone wound up putting it to rest or not. I suppose I felt I'd done enough running. I'd seen the worst it could do, and I was willing to risk it if it meant Rosalina wouldn't spend another night sleeping on a cot in the back room of a library. Fair enough, then. We've been finding these weird stone seals. Yeah. Next we're gonna find some stone walruses or polar bears. There was one in the mines and another in your basement. There might be more. In fact, I'm fairly certain there's more. Those are the carvings you mentioned last night, right? To think there was something like that under my house all this time. And to think someone must have put it there. But who? A good question. It probably didn't just find its way there by accident, certainly. Things buried underground can shift by various processes, but that seems unlikely. This gives me quite a few threads to follow. Thank you, Joe Bob. No, thank you, Oscar. Joe Bob, didn't you say you felt something similar to the mine seal outside the clinic yesterday? I hope that doesn't mean something weird is about to happen there too. Something weird is 100% about to happen there too. I know how this works. Uh-oh. Losing the only doctor's office in town seems like it will be bad. He's hoping we sort things out before that becomes an issue. You know, I was thinking about filling that basement with cement and pretending it was never a part of this house. But if we're all here, maybe we should go down and... Oscar sighs. Take a closer look at that carving, seal, whatever it is. Oh, heck yeah. It'll be like checking out the behind the scenes of a haunted house the morning after. I mean, I know you're joking. That's literally what we'd be doing, right? Now that you mention it, yeah. I guess that wasn't the best analogy. I didn't realize that was an analogy. It's been bad enough going into haunted houses and abandoned coal mines at night. There's something that feels so much worse about going down there in the middle of the day. I can't say I'm thrilled at the thought of it either, but we need to do whatever we can to start getting ahead of things. I really don't think this is a good idea. The spirit is gone, but you can still feel a faint hum undulating from the basement. Imminent danger may not await you down there, but the stone remains active, if at least weakened. Who knows in what strange ways it might manifest itself? Interesting. 2 different mystical options. The spirit is gone, and all that remains are dust and bones. Going down there poses no imminent risk. There's no reason for us not to go down there. Hang on, that's not what you fucking said I'd be telling them. What the fuck? That's not even an extension. That's just straight up the last sentence is just different. No imminent danger and no reason not to go down there are 2 very different sentences. That's reassuring? If you're going to trust anyone's instinct on this, it should probably be yours. Okay, let's do this. Heck yes. Oscar leads you back down the familiar hallway to Rosalina's room. Oh, hey, Dad. What are you all doing in here? I'm going back into the basement, Rosa. I'm afraid there's something down there that might help us figure out what's going on in town. It's probably best you go to the library while we... No way. If you're going down there, I'm going too. Remember what you said last night? No more secrets. We're in this together. You're right, Rosa. You can come with us. No more secrets. Am I the only person in this town who doesn't have a death wish? Yes. Sybil said that the ghost is gone. I really don't think there's anything to be afraid of down there anymore. Just give me a moment to move all this out of the way. Powerful build, let me help you with that. Flirt, powerful build. Let me help you with that. Your muscles flex powerfully as you lift the heavy furniture, your movements effortless. Oscar's eyes are fixed on you. You can tell everyone is impressed by your large muscles and ability to lift heavy things. I don't want to go back down there. It's okay, Alexis. You don't have to come with us. We can stay up here together while everyone else goes down there. Oscar opens the hatch with a menacing creak. Alright, last one in is a rotten egg. Everybody's heart skips a beat, though Avery's might have skipped a beat out of excitement rather than fear. But none of you are swept up into a ghost's nightmare puppet show. The sun continues to shine, the birds continue to sing outside Rosalina's window. See? Nothing to be worried about. The slight tremor in his voice tells you that he's mostly saying that to himself. Shall we? Yeah, I take it back. I'm good staying up here while y'all take a look down there. I do not like the vibes I'm getting from that pit. I then descend once again. The excavation of Oscar's basement. You descend the basement stairs and find yourself in the same cold, unfinished place you were in last night. The hum is still faint. but it's louder here. You take a deep breath and push it out of your mind. Well, I guess whatever we're looking for is in that pit. I guess we should take a look. Oscar walks up to the burial site, eyes widening as he peers inside. The eternally screaming remains of Charles Shaw Jr. are exactly where you left them last night, staring back up at you from empty sockets. The carving lies beneath him, the heavy cold stone acting as his coffin. Eternally screaming, that seems a bit too anthropomorphized. 3 dogs run in an endless loop around a furious goat. A goat, all bound in a ring of flame. The style seems almost Greek, or maybe Greco-Roman, the weathered carving reminding you of something you might see in a temple. Strange power emanates from the carving. It feels like some living thing, a darkness preserved in stone, buried out of sight and away from any eager hands. Or, at least, that was the intention. But power like this can't stay buried forever. Its style is more than just similar to the carving in the mines. Both stones were carved by the same artist. Gross. He rotted all over that rock. You have no interest in going any closer. This carving has trouble written all over it, and who knows what kind of diseases. It looks so heavy. Heavier than even you could lift. Okay. Goddamn, everyone's chiming in. What next? Hot and talk to animals? No. Okay. Just 5 out of the 7. Fair enough. Charlie. Oh, cool. Indeed. Dang, Charlie. Joe Bob's grandma really did a number on you. Nobody touch it. I'll have to call Dr. Kelly about this. We should put his body to rest, right? That's how these things usually go. At least in the movies. And hey, we disturbed his body and he hasn't come back for a sequel. Confirmation that he's gone for good, right? Guess so. I think so. That's gonna make it a lot easier to sleep tonight. Huh. Finding a dead body directly under your bed doesn't help most people sleep well at night, but oh well. Does that mean you'll let me sleep in my actual bed? Whoa. Let's give it one more night. I still don't know how I feel about you sleeping on top of that rock. You're just saying that because her bed is more comfortable, aren't you? What do we think? Good question. Wolves encircling a goat. It's a start. What was on the carving in the mines? A circle of arms bound up in chains. Stella took a photo of it. Not that that's helpful right now, but maybe once we find her, she can send it to you. Interesting. I'm sure that description will be more than enough to get started. Can Alexis and I help? I want to know why someone put this creepy stuff under my room. Sure, you can help. We should destroy this thing. Are you sure about that? That carving is one of the best leads we have. Dad, that thing stole our house. I suppose it did. And we do have a photo reference to work with. Okay, I'll give it a go. I'll do some research. Maybe we can use some sort of acid on it. Yeah, that may very well be a good idea. At the very least, starting on researching on how to destroy these, just in case we need to. These things have done enough damage as it is. It's time we start working on doing some damage to them. You and the others make your way back up to Rosalina's room. As soon as you're all in one place, Oscar closes the trapdoor and moves the pile of furniture back in place. So, did y'all get possessed or cursed or anything? Yep, we're all possessed right now. We're The ghost of Charles Jr. is inhabiting us, and he sent us back up here to kill you both and take over the town. No, but we did see a dead body. Close enough. Glad I stayed put. Alexis, you want to see a picture of it? Ew. Okay. I'm not sure that's appropriate. Alexis's parents might not approve of you showing their daughter pictures of dead people. They let her watch all kinds of scary movies, Dad. It's fine. And maybe she can help with the investigation, too. Do you guys want to see a dead body? Yeah, it's totally okay, Mr. Gutierrez. I don't want to see it in person, but I do want to see it. Before Oscar has a chance to get in another word, Rosalina's already pulled up the picture on her phone. Whoa, I can't believe you're gonna sleep in here. She's so brave. Oscar sighs. Well, she's not gonna sleep in there, certainly. I'll be back to check in on you two in a minute. I've just got a couple of things to finish up with these folks. You, Kanika, and Afri follow Oscar back to the living room. So, I have more than enough to get started on my research now, but is there anything else I should know about? Okay, good. I was worried we might have to go to Lotus Safe to talk about all the rest of this. Fortunately, no. I think Sybil knows more than she's letting on. I know Sybil knows more than she's letting on. She wants me to come talk to her today. I know that she's more than she's letting on. My mom? But she's always been such a crystals and herbs kind of lady. Not like someone who actually knows about supernatural stuff. Still, she did seem really calm and confident last night. Weirdly so. I hate this. You're telling me. She did seem strange last night. She kept shutting down the conversation, like she was rushing us all along, trying not to let us linger on the supernatural long enough to reach any conclusions. Indeed. Still, I'm inclined to agree with Kanika here. If she does know something, why would she be hiding it? Why indeed? I've got some idea of why. But we'll save that for later. I'd be interested to know what exactly she intends to tell you that couldn't be discussed in front of the rest of us. I wonder if this could be the work of some sort of cult. You're really not letting your cult theory go, are you? No, I am not. Know any local cults that could be responsible? And for all I know, you're all in on it! Kanika laughs. Oh, Bob, you're so funny. Wait, you're for real? No, I'm not part of a cult. Nor am I, or anyone else I know. I'd love to be part of some weird religious cult, just to see what kind of stuff they get up to. But alas, either I've never been invited, or there are none to be found in the holler. As someone who's lived here my whole life, I sincerely doubt there's anything remotely culty going on here. Which I know is exactly what a cultist would say, but take my word for it. No one in town is gonna try to Wickerman you. Weren't you the one who was worried about them doing horrible stuff to me if they discovered I was the catalyst for all this? I wouldn't be so certain about that, Kanika. Make sure Pixel stays inside, or we might get grabbed by ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces? Yes, they do in fact have faces, you're right. Yeah, the English doughboys. I kinda like them. It's like a hidden object game out there today with all the weird little faces peering out the bushes. Like them? Are we talking about the same creatures that have been laying eggs in the local wildlife? I don't want to get friendly with them or anything. I just think they're kind of interesting. To each their own. Will do. I can't imagine how devastated Rosalina would be if something were to happen to him. Especially after everything she's been through. I think there's something in the clinic. There was this door yesterday, and I could feel something pulling me towards it. Right, I'd almost forgotten after everything that happened yesterday. You said there was something there that reminded you of the mines, right? I see. I'll dig up what I can on the clinic. There's a lot of history there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something haunting that place as well. You have a friend that lives there, right? Should we tell him that something bad might happen in his house? He might want to stay someplace else for now, if the last few nights are any indication. Yeah, I can shoot Reese a warning text, but I don't know if his mom will let him leave. She's got an iron grip on the poor dude, and she's probably even more a skeptic than I am. Or was. One way or another, I'm going to find myself back there soon enough. It's faint, but I can still feel the pull of that clinic door, and it's only getting stronger. You're not planning on breaking in, are you? Either so, nope, you are not going to do that. Let's not have a repeat of last night. We should be more cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? No promises. Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella, and fast. Who else will get us into trouble like Stella does? I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. Yeah, like I said. See you around, Oscar. Let us know what you find. I will. You pause before leaving, your eyes lingering for a moment. If there's anything else you'd like to say to Oscar, you should say it now, before you leave. No shit. What's going on here? Okay, well... You know what? I'm going to end the video here, because I've got a rather pain in my chest that's rather distracting. Don't know what the heck the deal is with that, but also because I feel like we're stepping into something impactful here, and I'm not quite certain what the deal is with this. Well, at any rate, I'll leave off until next time. So until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.
You're gonna be okay, kid.